Experience action. Let's stop just talking about customer experience, employee experience, and the experience of leaders. Let's turn ideas into action. Your host, Jeannie Walters, is an award-winning customer experience expert, international keynote speaker, and founder of Experience Investigators, a strategic consulting firm helping companies increase sales and customer retention through elevated customer experiences. Ready, set, action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, I'm back, and so are you. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for joining me again. I'm Jeannie Walters, and we are talking about customer experience here on the Experience Action podcast. However, whenever we talk about customer experience, we're actually talking about business. We're talking about outcomes that we want, leadership, all sorts of things. And we're getting so many great questions. I so appreciate that. So don't forget, you can leave me a question at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. We have a great question from a great person who's been part of our community for a long time. Let's listen to this question from our friend Christopher Brooks.
Hi Jeannie, it's Christopher Brooks here. The question I'd like to pose is, how do you define value creation from customer experience? What is it that the organization gains because of its commitment and its proficiency in customer experience? And I'm not talking kind of conventional KPIs here or how many fewer pieces of paper we're reviewing. Real value. What's your opinion and experience on that? Thank you.
Oh, Christopher, this is like the multi-million-dollar, perhaps billion-dollar question, depending on the industry you might be in and the organization that you're talking about. Now, this is something that plagues customer experience leadership and management. When people start asking, is customer experience, worth it? This is a question I get all the time. C-level leaders want to know if customer experience is worth the investment. Customer-focused employees across marketing, sales, HR, and other departments want to know if their new ideas around creating a more customer-centric experience are worth pushing for. And even organizations who are running pretty mature CX programs often start wondering how those efforts are paying off. So as I'm answering this question, I bet I'm talking to a few of you directly who are struggling with this. This is something that we have to talk about more in our industry. And so two thoughts come to mind. One is customer experience can absolutely be tied to three areas of specific tangible returns on the investment, creating that value for the organization. But number two, this question in some ways leads to bigger questions that if you're not addressing, it doesn't mean that things aren't happening, because customer experience is happening whether you're intentional or not. This means that when customer experience is really executed well, when you have great leaders who are intentional about proactively designing and developing a great customer experience, that's what can actually meaningfully improve your organization's bottom line. So let's tackle it. What are the three areas of return on that investment? How can you create real value for your organization? Here's how I think about it. First little caveat, we have to know that customer experience cannot exist in a vacuum. You must do the work to align your company goals with your customer experience goals. So consider what most organizations focus on in their overall business goals. Companies need to earn more than they spend. As a business owner myself, I can certainly relate to this. In fact, they need to earn profits to succeed. This means they have to watch two things carefully: revenue, and we want that to go up, and expenses. And of course, we want those to go down. Most organizations are looking to increase those revenues and reduce expenses. But often the way they actually manage this on the inside is simply saying, more sales, let's get sales, more customers. But here's the trick. If we invest in customer experience, it means creating ways for customers to stay customers longer. It means ways to create more opportunities for customers to purchase. It means creating more opportunities for customers to refer others. And it means avoiding those service issues that can lead to both losing customers and poor reviews and poor referrals. So let's go through a few specifically. Number one, higher retention rates and lower customer churn lead to real value. According to Forrester Analytics Customer Experience Index online survey, this one from 2019, delivering a good customer experience by solving customer problems quickly means improved retention. So what does this mean for your organization? Well, some organizations are literally losing dozens or hundreds of customers every day. So by not investing in customer experience, they are reducing retention and creating more churn, leading to more acquisition costs. Because if you can't keep your customers, you absolutely have to focus on sales. You have to focus on getting so many customers in the door, new customers who somehow avoid those bad reviews and don't get that word of mouth negative referral from a friend. Those customers are who you're spending all of your money on just so they can walk out the door. Higher retention rates and lower customer churn will lead to higher overall revenue. It will lead to higher customer lifetime value. It will lead to more purchases, all of those things. We have to start connecting those dots, though, when we talk to our leaders. A second way that we can earn that return on the investment and literally create value within our organization. Customers who stay longer with your brand also spend more with your brand. Bottom line, loyal customers are more valuable. 70% of customers with high emotional engagement spend up to 2 times or more on brands they are loyal to. This is according to a study by Capgemini. Think about that. What if you could get 2 times more spend from the customers that you already have today? What would that mean for your bottom line? Start doing the back of the napkin calculations if you don't have these things available to you. You can often find out how many customers do we have and how much revenue do they bring in. If you start using terms like this, if we invest, we can achieve more. If 70% of our customers started spending more with us, what would that look like? If 2% started spending more with us, what would that look like? In some cases, that is literally millions of dollars. And the third piece here is customer referrals lead to immediate returns. So gaining customers via referrals actually reduces the cost of acquiring these new customers. They are also more likely to convert and do so faster. In one research study, a bank in Germany found that in a study of almost 10,000 accounts, referred customers were 25% more profitable than customers acquired in other ways. Plus, nearly 3 years later, the referred customers generated higher profit margins, were more loyal, and showed a higher customer lifetime value. As customers stay with your organization, they not only spend more, but they cost less, because a common idea out there is that it can take up to 7 times more to get a new customer than to keep one. So 3 areas right away that you can start using to really look at how are we adding value through our customer experience efforts. I'll tell you another way to look at this. What happens if you don't? What happens if you don't actually improve the experience and focus on retention? I will tell you what happens. Your customers leave you. You get a disruptor in your industry who knows that investing in the customer experience is the way to go, and they start taking away your customers pretty easily. This has already happened in so many industries in the last decade plus. We have seen experiential disruption in full industries because they simply focused on the customer experience. So look at both sides of that coin. What happens if we do, and do that back of the napkin math, and what happens if we don't? What happens if we lose 1% of our customers within the next year? What happens if we lose 5% within the next 5 years? What happens if we have to invest so heavily in getting new customers who don't stay? The other part of this that I don't always talk about, but I think it's important, is, you know what? Employees like working places where customers are valued and happy. And not only that, but if they're happy, if your employees are happy, they're going to refer other people to work in your organization. So if you are struggling with employee retention and employee engagement, this is a formula for that as well. So wherever you sit in your organization, there are ways to connect the dots to real value creation within your organization. If you haven't taken the time to really think about that, to look at some of the ways you can do that, I encourage you to check out our Learning Center. We also have different tools like our Customer Experience Success Statement that can really help you think through what is the value that we're bringing and how do we address our goals in a way that really addresses our organizational goals and our leadership goals as well, because that's where you start talking value. Christopher, this was such a great question. And not only that, but Christopher joins us sometimes when I host LinkedIn Live sessions and offer Ask Me Anything sessions there. So if you're not following me on LinkedIn, I encourage you to do that so you can join us there as well and get notified when we do go live. I'm so pleased to be here again with you. I'm so grateful that you are sending in these amazing, thoughtful questions so that we can have these really important conversations. If you have something to say, please reach out. I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn. And of course, you can find everything you need at experienceinvestigators.com. If you have your own question, don't forget, leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. Until next time, keep doing what you're doing, keep fighting the good fight for your customers, and keep those questions coming. Thanks, everybody. To learn more about our strategic approach to experience, check out free resources at experienceinvestigators.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, our Year of CX program, and more. And please follow me, Jeannie Walters, on LinkedIn.